Hello everyone, Loserkiller here, and welcome to our fifth video of our MOC series called Okoto Nation. So this time it will be the final video of our first wave of creation. And before we start with our MOC of the day, so which is called Lord of Golden Skull Spiders, let me talk about some little things. So first of all, for those who might wonder, yes, there will be a second wave of creation for Okoto Nation, but I absolutely do not know when it will be posted, because right now I have some ideas for some new creations in this Bionicle 2015 universe, but I did not start build anything. So yeah, for now it's just in my head, it's just at the concept stage, there is nothing built. So there will be a second wave, but I do not know when. Second thing is about the pictures. So in the video description I put a link to a gallery picture of the different creations, and there will be new folders added to the already existing one where you will be able to find instruction of the different models. So for example, if the video were not enough for you to understand how the MOCs were made, well, then with the instruction you will be able to understand it perfectly. Also, keeping on with the subject of the picture gallery, you will be able to find a new folder called Group Pictures, where, as the name states, you will have different type of group pictures with all the different creations I showed you in this first wave of Okoto Nation. So you will just have to click on one of the description link and then click up, and you will be able to find at the root of the folder this new group picture folders. Moving on, talking about group picture at the end of the video, because this is the final one of the first wave, I will do some group shots of the different characters, so this might take a little time, but yeah, just because it's the final video, I thought it was a good idea, so we'll see that later on. And I think that's all for what I had to talk about. So let's move on to the MOC of today, which is, as the name implies, so Lord of Golden Skull Spiders, a revamp or a reimagination of Lord of Skull Spider. So the biggest set, if I can say so, of the first wave of Bionicle 2015. So let's just move on, and first a little bit of background about this creation. I created it not really because I wanted it absolutely, but more like because we had a Lego exhibition with some friends, and we decided to put in place a Bionicle 2015 diorama, so obviously with some official sets, some with MOCs, modifications, and even my different combiner models. And so we wanted to have a Lord of Skull Spiders, but because we didn't find the original set, the official set, impressive enough, we decided to make a revamp. So I took it on myself to build it, but when I built it, I was not really into it, if I can say so. So this means I really put something together quickly without really trying. So that's why what you will see is not really my best MOC ever. The body frame is a little flimsy here and there, as you will see with some type of connections. And yes, it's not really that great. But what you have to take this MOC for is more like a first draft of what could look like a reimagination of the official set. What you can also do at home, but improved on. So it's more like, it's not really polished, if I can say so. Still, I would like to thanks Toa Ignika, which was also doing the exhibition with me at the time, and really helped me improve my model, because the first version was really not that good, and he really tried his best to make it stronger, make the connection point stand in a better way. So yeah, he really tried to improve what I had done, so a big thanks to him. So let's just start with the body frame first, and kind of like my Keita Minor models, this one also used different type of body frames put together to make a larger body frame. So we're going to start with a large one, as you can see. I'm going to add some parts on the bottom, so I'm just going to let you see how it's made and how the pins are put. And then we're going to move directly to the upper part, which uses two other pieces of body frame. So the first one, as you can see, is a thin one, and the last one, so the third and last one, is the small one. Okay, so both of them are linked through this part. So with some axle of 3 here. Notice the axle, no, not the pin, excuse me, the pin, the blue pin here and the black pin here. Also notice that you have a gray pin between these two parts, like that. So that's how these two parts are linked together in a strong way. Now we're going to add some parts on this ball joint. So first, this piece of armor, which you will also be able to found, or excuse me. Okay, I just add a little, yeah, just let's move on this point. But yeah, you will also have this part here. Yeah, that was easy. So we're going to add some part on the back with this bone. So also you might wonder why choose a dark purple part. Well, because when I build this revamp, I also add my fourth combiner model built. So this means that I did not have all the parts I wanted. And for those who might wonder what set do I need to build this revamp, well, I can't really say for sure because obviously I used the Lord of Skull Spider set, but also I use multiple parts from all the sets released in the first wave of Bionicle 2015. So I can't really say for sure what set you will need. So let's move back to this part, as you can see, so with two pieces of armor, which looks quite good together. And I think this part was made by Toa Ignika, by the way, so it really looks good. Going to add this big golden toes on the back. Also, for those who might wonder why there is some gold parts right now in the color scheme, whereas in the official set it was just black, dark gray, and transparent orange. Well, we'll come to that later on, but it will be explained. There is a reason for that. Notice the ball joint. Going to put this part here. Okay. Like that. And so we have the back of our spider done. Now we're going to link these two parts together, and once again, that's what I talked about earlier when I said the build itself of the body was flimsy. It's because these two parts are kind of just connected with one pin. And as you can see, it works because of the ball joint here and the hole there, but yeah, it's not perfect. We're going to add a second point of connection with these pieces. So the gray part will be linked to this hole here, and the blue part will be linked to this hole. So let's just start with the blue one because it's not the, yeah, like that, and like that. So now it's done, and well, I'm going to finish the body now. So first with this part, which will be helpful to make the lower part of the mouth. And then that's where it comes. It becomes interesting. Excuse me. We're going to add the golden skull spider mask. So we're going to attach it to this end with the ball joint. And this is interesting because you might wonder if I had any inspiration for this revamp. If I just started from scratch, if I had no idea of what I was doing or not. Well, kind of, but not entirely, because one of my ideas was to take inspiration, or was to yes, take inspiration from the Legend of Zelda series of video game, because for those who might be familiar with the series, you have in Ocarina of Time at least some spiders which are called Skulltula, and the thing with the spiders is that their body looks like a golden skull. So obviously, it was not really hard to make a connection between the Skulltula, which were golden, which had a body which looks like a face or more like a skull, and with this mask, which was also in a gold color and also kind of represented a skull, and which is also used for the body of a spider. So I wanted really to put this mask in the body of my revamp, and also because the mask was gold, this meant, adding gold parts on the revamp itself. Going to add these parts together, and as you can see now, the mask is firmly in our body. So it's yeah, and we have finished. We are done with the body of Lord of Golden Skull Spider. Let's just put this part here. And now it's time to move on to the legs. So the legs are not really complicated. I'm just going to show all of them to you because they are quite different from each other. So obviously the model is symmetrical, but still. So notice the two pinholes for this bone. Notice the two parts like that used here, whereas the other one just have one part or none. Also, the middle leg is the only one to have a gold armor. And finally, the last leg, which use a bone, one more bone, as you can see, or one more bone part. Okay, so now we're going to link this part here, there, and here. So this ball joint at the back will not be used. Okay, and now let's do that a second time. If I can do, okay. And as you can see, because the build is quite sketchy, sometimes the whole body just moves around if you put too much strength on it. So as you can see right now, everything is falling apart. So yeah, when you play with it, just do not make any strong movement, I guess. But yeah, with the parts, with the legs, sometimes it's quite hard to just link them together. So that's what I talked earlier when I said it was not really my best MOC. It was really done quickly on a rainy afternoon, so really not the best. Okay, so I think we are just done right here. So just let me just pause it like that. Okay, I think this will do the job. Oh, why is it? I'm going to have to put the legs to stabilize the whole model. Okay, I think we are just done. Let me just adjust the golden mask here, and okay, here we go. Finally, took some time, but we are finally done. We are finally done with this creation. So let's begin with a little turnaround. And in fact, I don't really have anything to talk about even in terms of articulation, because as you will see, it's quite simple to understand how the articulations are made. Okay, like that. So I really like this part on the back. I think it looks quite good, and doesn't really have any big holes in it, except maybe for this one, which you can see on the side of the model. But apart from that, it works nicely, and it is a nice shape. So yeah, in terms of articulations, well, you have three, as you can see, 3 ball joints on both of these legs, and 4 ball joints on the leg on the back, which is still limited, as you can see, because of the armor white hair. But apart from that, because it's a spider, and obviously it should have all its legs on the floor, you don't really have that many poses as you can do with this MOC. You can either make the spider like really far away from the ground, or at the in an opposite way, really close to the ground, like its body is nearly touching it. For example, like that. Yeah, or even if you want, you can try to do something like this, where the spider has its 2 front legs not on the floor. So when maybe it's attacking or something like that. So yeah, you can do some pose with it. There is no big problems, but there is really nothing to talk about. So I think we are just done with Lord of Golden Skull Spiders, excuse me. Each time I just forget to put an S at the end of spider. So yes, he's not the Lord of one golden spider, he's the Lord of a multiple one, I guess. Like that. Okay, so we have our spider all done. And so, well, what I have to, what I like and what I don't like on this model, but well, I think it's easy enough to understand that what I don't really like about this model is obviously the way it's built on some elements, because like I said, many parts are just attached together with one little piece, and most of the time it's a pin. So obviously a pin, as you can see, is round shaped. This means it kind of move like that. Obviously, if it was an axle, it would not move like that, so it will be stronger. But here, it just pins, and most of the time, just one. So yes, it's a little, yeah, it's not really really good. But apart from that, I think there is good elements. Like I said, I really like the design of the golden mask and also the back of the body. So these parts are good in my opinion. And also I think the gold colors look quite good with the overall color scheme, but that's just my opinion, obviously. It's a subjective point of view, and you might think that the original color scheme of Lost was better with just black, dark gray, and transparent orange. But I kind of like this idea, and I think, like I said, it's really a nice first draft of what could be done with the Lost ID, meaning that a bigger spider, a more stronger one, excuse me, and a more eye-catching one. So yes, what I really want to like, I think, is improve on this base creation, and for example, well, first make a body frame which stands better, which is not only a body frame made of multiple body frames just stacked together, because it's, well, not that interesting in terms of how it's built, and also as you can see, it's kind of flimsy. But yes, just build on that with a better body frame, and also maybe add a final pair of legs, so you will have a real spider with 8 legs and not just 6. I think it would be quite cool to do that. But as of it is, I think it's a nice model, but nothing really to brag about. So yeah, that was my opinion on my creation. Obviously, you might have a different one from mine, so feel free to tell me in the comments, and I will happily read them, and obviously answer your questions if you have any. And once again, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you want to see more pictures of this creation with more poses, you can find it in the video description. You will find a useful link here. So like also I said at the beginning of the video, we just now, well, now it's kind of like the end of the video. So if you just wanted to see this question, we are done with it. But right now, I'm just going to end this with some group shots of the 5 MOCs we have seen throughout this first wave of Okoto Nation creation. And well, first I think we're going to do a simple group shot of all of our 5 creations together. So also a little disclaimer, I might not really change the poses of the different models because it takes time and it's not really interesting to see me just kind of move around my creation and put them in some poses. So right now at the back you have both our Keita models, so Akamai and Warrior, and obviously we have also their minor version, so Warrior Keita minor and Akamai Keita minor, which will be put here. Okay, like that. And now we have our 5 models together. So this is the first shot I wanted to make. Like that. And now that's being, well, this is done, so just let's remove the Lord of Golden Skull Spider, and let's just do some shots with our Keitas together. So first, yes, a little shot with just the 2 Akamais in one place. So I'm going to maybe put this part like that and put the launchers back on his as shoulder pads. So here we go. Okay. Going to add now the 2 minor versions together, so both Akamai and Warrior. So once again, let me just put maybe, yes, the launcher on his back. Oh, yeah, obviously, yes. So that's why I don't really want to make a lot of group shots here, because as you can see, when you move around this model, sometimes parts just fall off, they just fall on their butt. So yeah, it's tedious sometimes. So that's why it's just to end the video, but it will not take that long. I will try to make it short. And also I will try just to maybe change the pose of Warrior, so he can also stand on one of his knees. So I think this should be good enough. And put him back, so I'm going to put him back with his shield mode and the weapons like that. So obviously feel free to tell me what MOC you preferred in the video comments. It would be nice to see if there is some one MOC which is more popular than the other, or absolutely not. Okay, it does not, it's just fall off. Yeah. Okay, and then I think we just have our second to last group shot. So with both Akamais together. So obviously I already did some of these group shots before, but I do not remember which one I made and which one I did not make. So okay, so that's why I'm going to do them, to do all of them once again. And I think it's a nice conclusion to our first wave of creation. Okay, and finally, well, we're going to put the 2 first MOCs of this wave and this also of this series together, Akamai and Warrior Keita. Like that, and maybe okay, I think do not fall off, please. Do not fall off. Yes, that just Oh, come on. I really thought it was Akamai that was going to fall off, but yeah, where I was in a kind of a weird pause since like 10 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure you're going to do something. You're just going to just fail. So yeah, you just did that. Thank you very much. So that's why also I think it's a little awkward to maybe do a group shots on a video because you have to pause them. It takes time, and sometimes they just fall off. Obviously, as you have seen, I think with this Okoto Nation series, the smokes were not perfect in terms of articulation, in terms of the weight and the articulation needed. Sometimes it kind of just did not work together. So yeah, it makes things even harder with the smokes in particular. Still, I think we're just done finally. So both of them together, and I think they look quite good. So it's time to wrap it up. So I really hope you liked this first wave of Okoto Nations mock. So obviously, like I said, it will come back someday. I do not know when, but it will come back. And as far as the mock series video, well, then they will continue, and whether sooner than well, whether yes sooner than later, because well, in just some days you will see the next one, and it will be completely different because it will still use some bionicle parts, but more like the first generation of bionicle parts, so 2001 from 2010 or 2010, excuse me. And also, it will be totally original creation. So this means no Keita model would take inspiration from the past or anything like that. No, really original story, original creations, and I hope you will like them. So let's. I hope you will kind of stay with me a little longer. I hope also you will bear my accent a little longer. And well, I hope I will see you then when I begin my new mock series. So see you later, see you soon, and hope you enjoy. Bye bye.